Hi everybody, Gary Williams here. I'm talking again to artists and people in the creative industries all over the world really to see how we're all coping with this crazy coronavirus situation. And the man who's waiting patiently over there is a friend of mine, Ravi Mishra, all the way from New Delhi in India. How are you doing, Ravi?
I'm good, Gary. I just want to correct you here. I'm actually not in New Delhi right now. I'm in central of India, Bhopal.
Oh, wow. Okay. So when we met early in this
Yeah.
year, we were in New Delhi. I just thought you lived there. So when we met, it was on a Magnum Photos sort of workshop, and you were the fixer. You were the guy that made everything happen and knew the people to talk to get the things done that we wanted to get done. So, I mean, just to give us an idea of what a fixer, I mean, what's a kind of a typical gig for you, and what are the kind of companies and organizations that you've worked for?
I have worked on several projects with National Geographic in the last 16 years. I have done over 10 projects with them.
Wow.
I have worked a lot with the New York Times. I literally have lost count on how many stories I have worked on with them. They have been a really good client, and I've worked with BBC.
Nice.
I have worked with. I produced a documentary. As a local producer and fixer with Channel 4 from UK.
What kind of support are people like you getting from the government at this time? Additional support, if any?
Me, zero. People like me, zero. If you talk about if people are getting help on the ground, nobody is getting any help. Not till you're recording this video, at least. There are some people, I wouldn't say nobody. Actually, it is more like a nobody because we have a population of 1.3 billion people. And this lockdown came in place like this. This guy comes on television, our prime minister. He comes on television, he just says, bang, lockdown. You can't do anything, you can't go anywhere. And majority of the population of this country are migrant laborers, who have, and this came right after Holi. So most of these people, were taking it very easy for the last, last few weeks, and all of a sudden they come back to the city because it was Holi. They went back to their villages. They had that time off. They just came back to city. They were about to start their work, and bang, lockdown. So they have literally not made a single penny. Most of these daily wage laborers that I'm talking about. And with the lockdown in effect, now they can't even go back to their villages, which is a good thing. I mean, because they are in the city, and it's a very good move, but it was not well planned. There is no support. These people still do not have support.
So how are those people getting fed or getting water? And how strict is the lockdown?
See, when you talk about water, people basically, it's unsafe, but still people drink from wherever they can find water. So water really has not been that big of a problem here. Food-wise, yes, because when this lockdown took place, when our prime minister, he announced the lockdown. I mean, it sounds like I don't like him. It's not the case. It's just I'm really disappointed because for the last 1 week, the kind of pain that I have seen, I have never seen that kind of pain in my lifetime. And I have seen a lot of pain because in 16 years, my first assignment of my life when I was 14 years old was at a red light district in Mumbai. So I have seen pain and I understand pain. I have covered earthquake. I have photographed for a British organization, Water Aid. I have photographed the earthquake for them. I've covered bomb blasts. I've covered serious issues. But the kind of pain that I've seen in 1 week, I have not seen that kind of pain. So what happened was 2 days ago, I was just doing my things, and I got a call from my mechanic Arif from old part of Bhopal, and he's like, he's known me for quite some time, and he knows that I like to help people. So he's like, he called me up, and he's like, I'm gonna say this in Hindi. He's like, रवि भाई यहाँ पे दो लोग लड़ रहे हैं बहुत तेज. It's like Ravi, my brother, there are two people fighting here. They're writing here. He used the word writing, and I was like, wait, what? How can people be writing during times of Corona when like everything is in lockdown and stuff? And it's like they're writing over food. And I was like, okay, how many people are there? And he's like, 7 to 10 people. Can you do something about it? And I was like, yeah, sure. I'll bring some packages, just try to calm the situation down, and I'll be there soon. So I went to a grocery store, and they told me that they can't sell me more than 2 packets of flowers, because, and that makes sense also, so that because there was a lot of panic shopping and stuff to calm the situation down. Then I explained to the grocery guy, who also knows me well, that hey man, listen, this kind of situation is happening, so I want to just help these people out. And he was like, okay, sure, you know what, under the table, just take it, it's okay. So I took a few packets and I went there, and I realized people were literally like trying to fight over 1 kg of rice. 1 kg rice, and there were like 2 or 3 families. I don't remember, because this was the first time I came to this neighborhood. All I did was like, all right, here are the packets. What's going on, you know? And they're like, they felt sorry for themselves after receiving the food, and they're like, we had been surviving only on water for the last 2 days now. So I said, all right, don't worry. You know what? I have some savings. I was going to, I mean, I'm using the phone. I was going to show you my phone. My phone's back crashed. When we were doing this Magnum assignment, it started raining, and my phone slipped, and I had cracked. I don't remember. I don't know. I don't know if you remember, or my phone broke down during our
I do
workshop.
remember.
You remember? So I got it fixed at one of these quick fix shops, because if you take it back to the Apple, it's almost like you have to spend as much money as you would spend on buying a new phone. So I tried to fix it. It didn't work. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm just gonna upgrade to a new iPhone. I didn't want to do it, but I was like, sure, let's do it. So I had $1,000 that I had kept aside for, try to sell this old phone and buy a newer model. But because of the lockdown, of course, it didn't work out. So I had this $1,000, and I was like, you know what? I know for sure that for the next 6 months to a year, I'm not getting any professional work. So I really don't need to upgrade my phone. So I'll use this money and I'll feed these 28 families. 28 families became 50 families. 50 became 100. And right now, right after this call, I'll be going to inspect an area where there are allegedly 80 families. When I say 80 families, you have to estimate at least 4 people to 5 people in each family.
How much does it cost you to feed each family? How much money are we talking about?
So each family costs approx $6.5 for 3 days. So for a week, it's $15. So when I started initially, I only had $1,000, which was enough for basically, because the lockdown is until the 14th, which is still 2 weeks away, longer. And when you give hope to somebody, you don't want to back off, right? Because then they are dependent on you. So I have some friends who contributed, including you, who contributed and wanted to help a little. So because of you guys, and I managed to go a little higher and take care of 50 families. And then another organization offered 3 days for 100 families. So I could either do 50 families for a week, or I could do 100 families for 3 days. So that's why I'm very sad and depressed and disappointed that I do not have the luxury to choose 1 week for 50 families. Because if I do that, then there is a strong chance, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this, there's a strong chance that especially kids might die of starvation, not of coronavirus. They would die of starvation. They would actually die.
How are you taking care of your own well-being and your own mental health at this time? It's difficult.
Mental health. See, physically, I am trained to take it because I work in hostile environments. I've had experience of working in hostile environments. So physically, I am well capable of. But emotionally, I am just realizing that I'm not. I'm not as strong as I thought I was. Especially, when you have given 16 years in this industry, you think that you're strong.
Mm.
This is
If
how.
people are watching this and they want to help somehow, what is the best way they can help?
Try to find local organizations who are working in smaller areas like Bhopal, Varanasi, Gorakhpur, because India is not just Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta, and Bangalore. India is big. It's massive, and there is already help in those big towns. More help than it's required. There are food packets that are being wasted. Uh, so find someone, and if you choose to help me, we have a GoFundMe page. The only problem with the GoFundMe page is that you cannot start a GoFundMe or any Kickstarter campaign here in India for some weird reasons. So, very dear friend of mine from Australia, who is also a journalist and has worked with me on uh, multiple occasions, has started a GoFund page. But the only problem is that the money will first go to him. There will be a fees that PayPal will charge him, and give him a bad exchange rate. Then that money will come to me, which will once again PayPal will once again charge their fees and give bad exchange rate. So the easiest is to do a transfer wise, which has been a very convenient mean of
That's what I did with you,
sending
right?
help across.
And is it
Yes,
okay if I put in the notes your bank details for this?
absolutely. Uh, just that it's my personal account. If anybody chooses to do a transfer, just please make sure that you add a note. It says Corona Relief, uh, because that way I can show the expense receipts to the government, and
And we should really stress to
I do
people
not.
watching this that you are, you're not out there with your begging bowl. You're not asking for money. Actually, I had asked you a few days ago how you were doing, and I wanted to help, and you were very reluctant to take money from anybody. And um, yeah, and I think people can see that the need is genuine, and there's no pressure or expectation at all. But if anybody watching this
Yes,
feels that they can help then and wants to, then there is an opportunity to get some money, albeit with a crappy exchange rate, but at least the money is going to be going directly to you and then directly into food to the people who need it most. That he's doing. Ravi, thank you so much for sharing that with us. And we know you've
no,
got
thank you. Thank you
really
for the
important places to be and lots of important things to do. So please keep up the good work, and we will be thinking about you and sending good vibes and good wishes to you and all of the people that you
Thank
help.
you so much, Gary. I wish and I really hope that we have one of these sessions again where I'm not so disheartened and sad and
We will.
trying to figure
We
out
will. We
things.
will. We'll all do
Lots
this
of
and
love
we'll
to
have a
you,
happier
everyone who is
conversation.
watching. So lots of love to you and lots of love to everyone watching this video. Thank you so much for your time. Take care of yourself, stay safe, and even if you are not financially able to help, it's absolutely okay. Just make noise about it. Make sure that people are not wasting resources during these times, and stay safe.
You too. Take care, Ravi. Thank you. Bye bye.
All right, guys. Take care. Bye bye.